Have you ever felt like you're holding everything together for everyone else? That's Lydia. At work, she's the rock, the dependable one. The person you give your problems to, because she never, ever fumbles. And honestly, she wears that responsibility like a suit of armor. No one ever seems to notice the incredible weight she's carrying, because she always manages to smile through it. But our minds have a funny way of whispering when we refuse to listen to their screams. 4 months, Lydia started hearing something strange in her apartment, a soft, dragging sound echoing from the hallway in the dead of night. It wasn't loud or even particularly scary. It was just like someone was slowly pulling a heavy cloth across the floorboards. But every single time she flipped on the lights, the apartment fell silent. Every time she crept into the corridor, there was nothing. She convinced herself it was just stress. After all, she was barely sleeping. Between the endless demands at work, crushing family expectations, and the constant pressure of being the strong one, her brain never got a chance to switch off. It was running on fumes. One night, after another utterly exhausting day, she collapsed onto the couch and drifted off into a restless sleep. Around 2 in the morning, she was jolted awake by the sound again, that same soft dragging. But this time it wasn't coming from the hallway. It was right behind the couch she was lying on. Her breath caught in her throat. The air in the room suddenly felt heavier, thicker, as if a door to a long-forgotten room had just been creaked open. A room she had locked and barricaded years ago. She was too terrified to turn around. She couldn't. And then she heard it, a whisper that crawled up her spine. "Lydia, are you tired now?" The voice was chillingly familiar. It was her own. She leaped up, her hand frantically slapping the wall for the light switch. The room flooded with light. There was nothing there. The apartment was silent, but her heart was pounding against her ribs, a frantic drumbeat trying to escape her body. The next morning, her eyes caught something she'd never noticed before. A long, faint scratch was etched into the living room floor, leading from the hallway to right behind the couch. It looked exactly like something heavy had been dragged across the wood. That was the final straw. She couldn't ignore it anymore. She found a therapist and made an appointment. Over several sessions, the truth finally began to surface, painful but liberating. The voice wasn't a ghost. The dragging sound wasn't some supernatural entity haunting her apartment. It was her own mind, finally begging her for rest. The dragging sound was a terrifying cocktail of sleep deprivation, auditory hallucinations, and years of suppressed trauma she had refused to acknowledge. Her brain had literally started creating a physical presence, a haunting, to force her to confront the exhaustion and pain she had so desperately tried to bury. Healing wasn't a quick fix. It was a slow, difficult process. Emma had to relearn what genuine rest felt like. She had to learn how to set boundaries, how to say no, how to allow herself to be vulnerable and human instead of just the strong one. And as she learned, the dragging sound faded away, until one night, she realized it was gone for good. Sometimes, people don't break with a loud, dramatic crash. They break quietly. They break in the hushed corridors of their own homes, in the whispers of their own minds, into silent, lonely spaces between utter exhaustion and the will to survive. Lydia's story is a powerful reminder that the scariest hauntings are often the ones we create for ourselves. If you ever feel like you're carrying too much, please know that seeking help is a sign of true strength, not weakness. Your well-being matters. Thank you for listening, and please take care of yourselves.